Okay, so today is September 20th, 2016. I want to welcome everybody to this week's edition of the Business Owners Mastermind Call. The 10X Business Owners Mastermind Call, this call happens every single Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Time. I'm your host, John Pyron, and this call's been going on, a little over 2.5 years. If you want to get access to all the other calls, there's a couple of different ways you can do that. Number one, you can go to iTunes and type in the 10X Mastermind Group, subscribe to that podcast, and all those calls will automatically come to your phone. Another way to do it is to go to my website at johnpyron.com and go to the button there called podcast, and there you go. All the calls are there, all the instructions on how to get access to the Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group called the 10X Mastermind Group. So all those resources there are available for you. There's over 500 entrepreneurs in the Facebook group. Great place to hang out, great place to bring your questions, bounce ideas off of one another, and so forth. We just launched a new group in LinkedIn called, guess what, the 10X Mastermind Group. So we're going to start hanging out on LinkedIn as well. So there you have it. So today's call is very unique. I only do this once every 3 months, once a quarter. So all the other calls I'm usually teaching on a topic and take a couple of questions. This call is very unique in that I am going to provide one-on-one coaching for those people that are on the live call. So here's the ground rules. When you come on the call, we need to know a couple of things about you. Number one, what is your business? Number two, how long have you been in business? And then what your biggest challenge is that you would like some coaching on. Or maybe you want to talk about a goal. Or maybe you're hiring some employees. Whatever the topic is, I'm going to do my best to help you out. So with that said, let's so far I have Jovan Greenleaf. I have Quintus on the call, Chief Officer Thomas. Anybody else want to say hi, just press *6. So if you want some live coaching today, press *6 and let me know your name so I can get a list going here, and then we're going to get rolling. So press *6 right now if you want some coaching today, and that way I know who you are, what your name is, so I can make sure that we get to you today. Okay. All right, so let's start off with Jovan. Now, Jovan, you and Quintus are going to be on the call at the same time. So both of you just press *6 real quick, and that'll bring you on the live call. Check your mute button as well.
Can you hear me, John?
I can hear you now. Quintus, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right.
Okay, so Joe, you want to introduce yourselves and what kind of business do you do and how I can best help you?
Yes. Give me just a second. I'll be out of the elevator so you guys won't get that echo.
Oh, got it. Okay. So Quintus, go ahead and take it away, man.
Quintus?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead and introduce yourself and what kind of business you do and how I can best help you today.
Actually, I'm here to listen in and see what my sister has going on to help her out.
Okay, I'll tell you guys.
All right,
I'm
so
Jovan.
So Quintus, you can go ahead and press *6, and that will mute you again because I didn't know that you were just here to listen. So, and then Jovan, take it away. What is your business and what do you do?
Okay, right now I have a business, tax service, and I've been doing that for 7 years on my own. I've been doing it for 16 years, but 7 years on my own. But the business that my brother and I are interested in is opening a residential care home for the elders. So we are trying to buy this business, and we want to know if what they're offering for the business is a good deal or not. So should we pass or should we keep it?
So you're looking to buy a business that already exists, and it's a residential care home.
Correct. The business been, they've had it for 10 years, same location. And so they want the house and the business, and they're two separate prices. So I'm okay with the price of the house, but I'm a little iffy on the business.
Okay. So it's a business and the house itself.
Correct.
Okay. So there's real, and they own the house?
Not outright, but yes, they do.
Okay. So you're going to buy the real estate property plus the business itself, right?
Correct.
And are the two separable, or are they inseparable?
Yes. Separate.
Okay. So you don't really have to buy the house. You can just buy the business, right?
Correct. But it makes good sense to buy the house because the house is already licensed for the care and it already has the windows, so they're not interested in renting it, only purchasing it at this time.
Sure. And so what led you to want to buy this house or to buy this business in the house?
Well, we've been wanting to buy one for a while. My brother has a real heart for the young men and stuff, so he wanted to do a home for both. And so when I found this, I said, hey, I found something for us, but I don't know how good it is.
Okay.
So that's what we want to know. We want to get educated on that.
Okay. Yeah, so give me a little background on the business itself. How have you gotten financial statements from the owner? What do you know about the business?
Well, I got tax returns from them for the last 3 years, 2013, 14, and 15.
Okay.
They have a broker that's doing the deal for them. They're asking for $200,000 for the house. It's 4 right now. The capacity is 6 residents, and they have them, and each one of them pay a different amount depending on the level of care that they have. The owner will stay on for as long as I need, up to 6 months, 3 days a week, to help me out with everything. So you still have to go to school and get certified, take the test and stuff, which is a 40-hour class.
There's a bunch of background noise where you're at.
Yeah, people were coming out. Sorry. We should be good now.
Okay, so the owner's willing to stay for 6 months. Okay, you got 6 residents, and how much revenue are they? How much revenue is being generated from the 6 residents?
$23,500
per month.
Yes.
500. So when you look at the tax return on that, what are your expenses associated with that revenue?
It comes to $189,000 a year, not adding back the depreciation and their payroll. They have 4 people on payroll, and 2 of them are their daughters.
189,000 divided by 12, so that's $15,750 per month, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what's the biggest challenge? What's the real challenge here for you?
The real challenge is that the residents may not stay. They may not prefer me as an owner over the other people. The condition of care, because if that condition of care changes, then you'll have to have more employees, or if the condition of care changes where they no longer can be in your facility.
Okay. So, but the owner is willing to stay on for 6 months, right?
Yes.
Okay.
3 days a week.
Okay. And so when I went to sell, there was a company I bought called Synap. And when I went to sell that company, it was a 6-month, started in January, finalized June 1st of 2013. And what I ended up doing, because I was in the same dilemma, is even though I had clients that had contracts, okay, they had term contracts, and those contracts were sellable. Contract is only as good as the ability to enforce it. Okay? And so what I did to make it secure for the buyer is for the whole 6 months, I introduced them to the buyer, made sure that they loved them. You know, I helped them work. I kind of seeded them into the process there, outsourced all of the work to the new buyer, so they fell in love with the new buyer. I worked that process for 6 months, and so when I walked away on June 1st, 2013, it was done. So here's what I would recommend you do. Is number one, you got the 3 tax returns, but you need current financials. So you need a profit and loss statement, statement of cash flows, and you need a balance sheet. Okay? And you're a tax expert, so you know how to read these things. But what you're looking for is, okay, if that owner were to be taken out of the play, how much revenue could be added back? Okay? Because he's taking a draw or salary or something. Okay? You know, what you're looking for is okay, what is the EBITDA on this business? Okay, what is the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization? Okay? So you need to know that number. Times that by 12, that's the annual revenue. And now you got a place to negotiate from. So 1 times EBITDA is whatever the annual profit is on that business. Okay? And that person might say, okay, like if this person had term contracts, it would probably be 2 to 3 times EBITDA. Okay? Which means whatever the annual profit is, times that by 2 or 3, and that's how much the business is worth. Since this person does not have contracts in place, we need to reduce your risk. And the thing is 6 months he stays on board, okay, because they're.
Uh-oh, John, did I lose you? John? John?
John?
Are you there?
Joanne?
I guess I got you, Quintus, but I don't have John anymore. I guess we have to dial back in.
Okay, I'm hanging up.
All right. Oh, there you go. John? Nope,
Okay,
we got to dial back in.
Oh,
Oh, there you go, John.
Little call failure there. Okay.
Okay.
So, what's that noise?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, so Jovan, if you press star 6 and come back on the line. Hello, Jovan. Okay, let's try this again. Joanne, are you there? Okay, let me get that. All right, press star 6, and
Hello.
you should be able to come back on the line. Jovan.
No, this is her brother.
Hey.
Hey.
What's going on, man? All right. Is Jovan still there?
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, great.
Okay. All right, so let me give you some homework real quick because I want to get to some other people here. You need the current financials, okay, balance sheet, income statement, statement of cash flows. We need to reverse engineer out the owner and see what we're left with. We're after what the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization is. That's the EBITDA number. Are you typing?
No, I hope my brother is writing.
Okay. Because there's a lot of background noise. Who's got the background noise going on?
What about now?
Okay, perfect. All right, so we need to know what those numbers are, and then take a look at. You got to create a plan, basically. To take. Quintus, are you typing?
No, I've been muted all this time. That's not me.
Okay. So, Jovan, whatever it is, are you walking, or I'm hearing a bunch of background noise.
No, I'm seated.
Okay. Let me mute this again. Hold on. Okay, Jovan. Just Jovan. Press *6.
Are we good?
Okay. All right. All right. So we need to get all that stuff from the owner, okay, and then you need to have a letter of intent drafted up and signed that he agrees to. If you meet all the parameters for the purchase, he agrees to sell it to you. Vice versa on the other end, that if he fulfills all his obligations, you agree to buy it. That's a letter of intent, okay? And you guys go through the process of planning out how you're going to do that. You need to value the company, okay? And so if he has no contracts in place, what will make the company more valuable is his willingness to stay on for 6 months, okay? And make sure that there's a smooth transition. And during that time, you can put agreements in place, okay?
Okay.
And then, the total purchase price is contingent upon, like when I sold Synap, the total purchase price was contingent on the client staying for 6 months.
Okay.
Okay. So I got an initial lump sum payment, and then the rest was paid out over 6 months based on the performance of the clients that stayed. Okay? And so
Okay.
it reduced the risk. It allowed me to charge more. It allowed me to get more for the sale. Okay? And so collect all that information, and then you want to meet with somebody. You can call me or meet with somebody and have somebody walk you through the rest of the process. But that's where you start. Okay?
Okay.
So at minimum, it's easy to do a rough number of what that business is worth. So let's just say you give me $23,500. Let's just say, for example's sake, this is it, right? Okay. So the down and dirty valuation is this: $23,500 minus $15,750. That's $7,750 per month in profit. Let's just say that's the EBITDA number. Times that by 12. $93,000 is what you'd expect to pay for that business. Okay? But you got to find out what that true EBITDA number is.
Okay.
The business has been in business for 10 years, so you're going to have to get a complete list of fixed assets, and I mean everything that's got any value on it. You want the website domain, all the intellectual property, logo, etc. Okay,
Okay.
So it's already it's got a brand to it, right? So, but that's where you start. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, that's easy enough because the things that I'm asking for are things that I'm familiar with. So that should be easy. And
Okay.
so once I get my number, then I'll know what the business is worth. So far, just with our estimate, we see about $83,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just get all that information that I was telling you about, and then you can connect it. Send me a text or send me an email, and then we'll set up a time to go over. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'll get that.
All right.
All right. Awesome.
Go ahead and
Thank
press.
you, Joe.
You bet. Go ahead and press *6, and that will mute you.
Okay.
And then who else would like some live coaching? Press *6, and that'll bring you on the line. Anybody else would like some live coaching today? Press *6. Check your mute button on your phone. First come, first serve. Okay, so I'm going to share with you guys real quick. I have several clients of mine hiring employees right now. Okay, so over the last month, I've taught over 6 clients, helped them create their hiring process. So as you grow your business, as you expand your business, as you work on sales and income, you're going to get to a point where you're going to need to hire somebody. And it's very important to decipher that process ahead of time. And so here's the process that I've learned, I've implemented in my own businesses, and I've had a lot of success. Prior to implementing this process, I sucked at hiring good talent. And so good talent will cost you money. What you're after is great talent. Great talent will never cost you money. It will make you money. Okay? And the slower you have, the more methodical and slower the process, you can vet them out and hire some really, really good people. So here's the process I do. Number one, I craft a really good, solid job ad. And it's not like, hey, John Hiring Coaching is looking for an administrative assistant, and this person should have this skills, and send your resume to here. No, nothing boring like that, okay? Keep in mind, you want to stand out amongst everybody else. So fast-growing coaching and consulting business looking for a superstar, a rock star administrative assistant. This person's going to be in charge of literally everything. This person's going to be the right-hand person to the CEO. Very exciting work environment, great place to spend your time during the day, fun, motivating. You need to have some excellent typing skills, excellent social media skills, excellent phone skills, and you got to absolutely love being an assistant. So if that's you, okay, you don't want to miss out on this opportunity to work for one of the best companies on the planet. Okay, we will be making our decision in the next 2 weeks. If you want to be a part of that or even considered, I would recommend you submit your resume right now. So you see the difference in job ads. Okay, you need to stand out. Okay, in order to attract a great employee, you have to be great yourself. And so, because I tell you what, man, great employees will make you a boatload of money and give you free time. Okay, I have a client of mine who's in Paris right now for an entire month. Okay, her average employee, she's got 23 employees. The average tenure of those employees are 18 years. And so she's in Paris, and I'm going down there every Monday to meet with her managers and to do a management meeting. And I got to tell you, man, I've been so impressed. I mean, she has 4 just unbelievably great managers. And they love her. They're taking very good care of her company. I mean, they're making her more money while she's in Paris than they were while she's here. So when I looked at the numbers yesterday, I'm like, you guys are crushing it. And so we're having to hire 4 or 5 employees. Well, actually, we hired 3. Now we're going to hire 2 more employees. And we're doing all this while she's away. The difference is she's hired great employees. She did not settle for mediocre. And she's empowered me. She's empowered the 4 managers to make the hiring decisions while she's gone. And that's the difference between a good employee and a great employee. So here's some how-to, step by step. Here's where you're going to want to start taking some notes. Create a good job ad. Use an online service. There are all kinds of online services. The one I'm recommending right now, the one that I am sending all my clients to, is called ZipRecruiter.com. So ZipRecruiter.com. And if you use EO Fire, like EO Edward Oscar Fire, so ZipRecruiter.com / I think it's ZipRecruiter.com /fire. That's John Lee Dumas's code, and you'll get I think it's like 7 days for free. Okay, really good service because it captures all the resumes. It's a thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways scoring card. Very easy to sift through resumes that way. Okay, and so now that you have that in place, you got to have a screening process. So let's just say, I'll keep it simple. Let's just say you're looking for an administrative assistant. Okay, and irregardless of what the type of person is, you want to assess their ability to follow instruction. Okay, so in the job ad, I would say, please send your resume and cover letter to this address. Okay, or if you use ZipRecruiter, they're going to fill it all out on there. Say, hey, I want you to tell me, based off the job description, based off of the requirements of the job, I want you to tell me in two paragraphs at the most why you're qualified for the position. What experience in your past qualifies you for the minimum requirements for this position? If you do not have the minimum requirements, do not apply for this job. If you do have the minimum requirements, you need to detail out in a 1 to 2 paragraph section in the cover letter as to why you're the great candidate. And what I'm after here is I want to see, okay, it's a way for me to screen the resume quickly without having to read the whole damn thing. Okay, so I look at if they do not follow those instructions, it's an immediate disqualification. Great people follow instructions, and they do exactly what the employer is asking them to do. If I get a cover letter and they did not follow the instructions, why the hell would I want to interview them? They may be the most qualified person on the planet, bachelor's degree, I mean everything.
Hello? John?
You still there?
Joanne?
We're not. Yeah, I got you, Cornelius. I don't have John anymore either. Uh-oh, something happened. He's probably going to come back on. I'm going to mute out.
Okay. We've had more technology challenges on today's call than I've ever had, so I apologize. So, anyways, make sure that they follow the instructions, right? So if they do not follow the instructions and do what you tell them to do, it's an immediate disqualification. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing is I'm looking for employees that have not changed jobs more than 3 times over the last 10 years. Okay, 3 times over the last 10 years. Okay, and it doesn't mean they're disqualified. It just means I'm going to give them a sideways thumb when I'm rating them on ZipRecruiter. If they have no more than 3 jobs, okay, in the last 10 years, then that's going to be an A candidate because they have longevity in their tenure. Okay, I'm looking for an employee that has longevity, not somebody that bounces around all the time. Okay, now if you're hiring for real estate, you want to have a little leniency here for any job changes between the year 2007 and 2012. That was a very volatile time for a lot of realtors and any support staff associated with a realtor. Okay, So I kind of get rid of that section of the deal when I'm talking about realtors. But everybody else, looking for tenure, man. Does this person have the ability to stay? Do they have the ability to work through the challenges? Do they have the ability to be great? Okay? So you're going to give it a thumbs up if they have less than 3 job changes in 10 years. Okay? Next, I'm looking at the minimum requirements. Okay? If I wanted a bachelor's degree, do they have it? If I wanted a bachelor's degree or 5 years of experience, do they have it? You know, somebody may have 5 years experience, but it was 1 year here, 1 year there, 6 months here, 6 months there, and it all adds up to five years. Well, guess what? I'm not interested in that person because there's too many job changes. There's something going on there. I need somebody that's in longevity. Okay?